Welcome to a new episode of Bacon and Bezels, and today we're going to be looking at this Hamilton Khaki diver. And I got this watch exactly a year ago this week, and we went to Vegas, my wife and I. It's our anniversary this week as well, and we bought this watch there at the Tourneau, which is now no longer Tourneau. So it was kind of cool that we went there right before it kind of switched ownership, and it kind of has a lot in common with this watch because this watch is a Hamilton, and Hamilton was started in Lancaster, Pennsylvania in 1892, and it was an American brand. It was very ensconced in American tradition. They made a lot of watches for the railroad and for aviation in America. And eventually, in the 1970s, during the quartz crisis, they had to sell the company to the Swatch Group. And today, it's still owned by the Swatch Group, but thankfully, it made it through that transition, and we still have great watches from Hamilton today. And the day that I got this in Vegas, we went to the Stratosphere restaurant. We went on the gondolas, boats in Vegas there, and it was just a perfect day. We went to Tourneau and got this watch, and I got to spend a couple hours in that store just looking at all the watches, and I even had a $8,000 Panerai that I tried on, which was a really cool experience. But when I tried it on and tried to take it off, it wouldn't come off, and it was kind of a scary thing because I had an $8,000 watch which I could not afford on my wrist, and it would not come off, and they had never seen anything like this before. They came over, the manager tried to take it off my wrist, wouldn't come off. They were laughing about how, oh, it must be for you because it won't come off your wrist, and I'm thinking in my head, that is not the reason because I cannot afford this watch. Eventually they were able to get it off. Another reason why I got a Hamilton on that Vegas trip is because Hamilton has a long history as well with Elvis Presley. He wore a ton of Hamilton watches. It was kind of his go-to brand. So I thought it was very apropos to get a Hamilton while in Vegas. So let's go up close and personal and look at this watch. So here is the Hamilton Khaki diver, and it is part of the Hamilton Khaki collection, which is usually comprised of military watches. This one happens to be kind of an outlier because it's a diving watch, but I think it still kind of goes in with a collection of military watches because it's a dive watch. It's very capable of just doing anything you need it to do. You see the polishing there. You got that coin edge bezel there, just really beautiful. The polishing and the finish on this watch for the price is fantastic. Got the case back there with some etching in it, the Hamilton branding. Like I said, originally I had this on it came with a blue NATO band, but I'm not really big on NATOs. It came under the back of this watch, and it just kind of adds some more heft to it on the wrist. So I put it on this gray silver Barton band, this rubber band, which I think just looks really nice with that silver there on the bezel. And it's just that blue dial with the blue bezel and that silver. It just really got me when I saw this watch in Vegas, and I'm just really glad I got it. Getting a dive watch, you're getting a great brand with a lot of heritage and history behind it. Like I said, Hamilton started in America, just has a very rich history with the railroads. Now it's Swiss made, so you have that history of being American brand with the reliability and the build quality that comes nowadays with Swiss watches, especially Swiss watches coming out of the Swatch Group, which, I mean, the Swatch Group has so many great brands like Omega and Breguet and just Hamilton, just so many brands with so much history. So to get all of that history on your wrist for under $1,000 is just fantastic value. Let's go ahead and look at the Lume, and then we'll give our final thoughts on this Hamilton Khaki diver. Here's the Lume on it. As you can see, it's more of a bluish color, which kind of goes with the whole watch design, which I think is really cool. And even the second hand tip there is gliding along, and you can see it. that it is also fully lumed, which is really cool. And even though I don't like the date window at that 4:30, in the dark, it really helps because you get the whole symmetry there, and you can see what time it is very easily at a glance. And I just love that bluish hue of this lume. We're out here by the lake. You can just see it's a beautiful case, 40 millimeters. Just a really wearable, fits my wrist perfect. And like I said, just can do everything. You could just hop into this water right now and go for a swim or whatever you want to do. Just very versatile. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you to those who have already liked and subscribed to this channel, and keep watching. I really appreciate it. Next time we're going to be looking at a Seiko that is inspired by a Cartier tank, one of the world's most famous watches. Thank you for watching once again, and as always, cherish the time.